Sending your daughter abroad might seem extreme, but I've discovered that many Sikh parents believe their children are in danger here in the UK. They believe that their children are being targeted by gangs of Muslim groomers. It's an accusation that is deeply controversial. The two faith groups have a history of religious conflict.
The Sikh community has been a target of child abusers since probably 1999. Over the last 5 years, it's become a growing problem. As much as people don't like it to be said, they are being targeted by Muslim youth.
And some of the cases that we're coming across, young girls have been targeted in parks playing on swings. Who are grooming? You can read the names for yourselves. Same kind of people keep cropping up.
Well, the majority of the time, I'm talking about 98% of the time, they are of Pakistani origin and they belong to the Islamic faith. When you're getting 5 or 6 calls a week from concerned parents, it just is a massive problem.
Sheikh Ibrahim of the British Muslim Council believes there is little evidence to suggest organised gangs are specifically targeting Sikh girls.
We have been in contact with some of the communities who have been affected by this, in particular our Sikh communities. I personally have had meetings and discussions with this. We have to base all these allegations on evidence. If it's just going to be allegations which cannot be substantiated, then there could be tension between our communities.
Even though Muslim men have been convicted in recent cases, he believes that profiling groomers by their religion is a mistake.
We acknowledge that the recent cases that have come to light in our courts and the sentences that have been passed have involved a disproportionate and large number of men who belong to the faith of Islam. But it is very wrong for society to blame an entire community for the actions of a few.
A report on child sexual exploitation by the Children's Commissioner for England revealed that those who commit the crime of grooming come from diverse backgrounds.
A number of representatives from the Sikh community came to talk to me about their very real and serious concerns about some of their girls being targeted by Muslim men. Our evidence was very, very clear that this is not a crime committed by one ethnic group or one faith group against another. This crime is happening across all our communities, all our faith groups, and within every ethnic group.
But what do the groomers themselves say? Do they specifically target Sikh girls? One man who claims he turned his back on a grooming gang and is in hiding agreed to talk. How rife is it?
If you're in a car worth £5,000 upwards, you're pretty much guaranteed to get sex with an 11 to 16-year-old girl on an evening.
Do people pretend to be Sikh?
People pretend to be Sikh just to get laid, basically.
Why Sikh girls? Why are they going for Sikh girls in particular?
Why Sikh girls? Well, I don't think a Sikh girl would actually tell her parents, obviously, what she's up to, or that the parents would actually report it if they were to find out.
With so many families too ashamed to report abuse, it seems a Sikh girl makes an easy victim for the groomers.
The fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter whether you're from the Sikh community, from a Muslim-based faith community. If you're aware of child abuse and you're not reporting it to the authorities, then you're doing the wrong thing. You're allowing it to get worse. You're allowing it to fester.
Majority of parents, all they want to do is shut up shop as if nothing has happened. But over the years now, slowly, people are coming forward. People are coming forward and talking.
Gurmeet and Ranjit, not their real names, are one of the few Sikh parents who have been brave enough to report the abuse endured by their child to the police. They believe their daughter has been the target of a group of groomers for the past 6 years.
We only were aware of things going wrong when something drastic would happen, like her 14th birthday. We bought her a mobile phone and she was then taking pictures, and these pictures were being sent out to third parties.
Sexual pictures?
Yeah.
And when we started going through her phone and things like that, the numbers were on her phone She had loads and loads of numbers on her phone under female names. But when you dial the numbers, you can distinctively tell that they were older males.
Some of the men they believe Javine was being groomed by were in their 40s and 50s. In desperation, Gurmeet sold their house and moved the family out of London. It's quite a drastic move, though, to move 120 miles up north to get away from these men. But it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Why?
They had her details and they wanted to pursue it all the way.
By doing some research online, Gurmeet discovered that a group of men in London passed Javine's details onto another group based in the West Midlands.
It all starts in London, and in the West Midlands, you've got 3 perpetrators who are all linked.
So we're talking of like a network?
Right.
Through all of this, Gurmeet and Ranjit claim they've struggled to get the police to take their case seriously.
Nobody seems to be interested in investigating it further.
How many times do you think you've called the police over the last 3 or 4 years?
There have been incidents where we have rung several times a day to get information, to update, and they've just had a blasé attitude.
Ranjit and Gurmeet recently took their case to the Police Complaints Commission. West Midlands Police say investigations into Javine's situation are ongoing.
The confidence to talk to the police and the authorities is at a very low level.
Why are they not investigating these cases?
I think the main problem why they're not investigating, either there's a fear factor of bringing the Muslim-Sikh issue and the community tensions and everything like that. I don't think they understand the extent of the problem and the cultural backgrounds and the religious sensitivities of the situation.
In Southeast Asian communities, I have seen historically where victims are not well served because of police sensitivity about engaging a community whose tradition is all about honour and shame. So that sensitivity sometimes can be overplayed, and I think in those cases where it is, police and other statutory authorities pause for too long.
I do think there is quite a way to go in terms of police forces around the country truly waking up to the fact that there are ethnic minority victims of sexual abuse.
With many in the Sikh community believing the police are unwilling or unable to help solve grooming cases, Mohan has undertaken something radical. He's been tracking down the groomers himself.
The Sikh Awareness Society does conduct its own investigations to see if it is a sexual grooming case, and if it is, we tell the parents steps that they need to take.
Recently, Mohan worked on the first ever case involving a Sikh victim of sexual grooming to have been successfully taken to court. Although the perpetrators have all now been sentenced, his work is not done. He remains in close contact with the victim to guide her through the healing process.
I can't even say my full name now. I can't get myself to say my full name now.
Why is that then?
Because the person, she's disappeared. Nobody knows where she is. Subconsciously, like, in the back of my head, I'm thinking about them. I can remember everything.
Reliving them same scenes again in your head. You just want to completely move away from it. That young lady doesn't exist anymore.
I just don't want to be me anymore.
Mohan got involved in Kulwant's case because he felt the police were slow on the uptake.
The parents have already approached the police prior to us getting involved. Now, if the police had done their job, there would be no need for the family to approach us.
Determined to prove that Kulwant was being abused, Mohan Singh launched his own private investigation. Over several weeks, he revisited all the locations where the abuse occurred and tracked down witnesses. Ultimately, he provided the police with key evidence that led to an investigation and helped convict the abusers.
The 3 men had denied 22 counts of sexual offences against a child. At their trial this morning, a change in plea. The 3 admitted 5 counts of paying for sex with a child. The 3 men, together with 3 others who pleaded guilty at an earlier hearing, will be sentenced at the end of the month.
All the information, the names, the car registration numbers, the places where they took her, that was compiled into a couple of forms. And we had a meeting with a police and social services of Leicester, and we gave them that information, and that's when they started to investigate.
Do you accept that it was the Sikh community, it was the Sikh Awareness Society that brought this case to you?
Yes, they actually went to Sikh Awareness Society, went to the Leicestershire County Council Social Care Department, who then came to the police, and we were able to start an investigation the day they told us that around the concerns.
There have been complaints from the Sikh community that there was a slow uptake in this investigation. Is that fair?
I don't think it is fair. I think these investigations are challenging. So I want to reassure communities, we didn't just wait, we weren't slow on the uptake. Within 24 hours of being told about the potential concerns, we put a dedicated investigation team together and we tried to secure evidence straight away.
The success of this case has raised hopes that other Sikh victims will come forward too. But for parents Ranjit and Gurmeet, their daughter is a long way from that. She is still under the control of her alleged groomers. Their pain has compelled them to try and save other children. They've opened up their home as a safe haven.
The purpose of us providing a halfway house is to allow other families that are stuck in our situation somewhere for the children which is safe. Because 9 out of 10 times the alternative is that the children go back to the perpetrators. It's rewarding in the sense that we're trying to do something positive.
The girls with no one to confide in, the child living thousands of miles away from her family, the parents seeking their daughter. All of them have spoken in this film for one reason: to stop the abuse.
I don't think they should be allowed to get away with it. I want it to stop. I want them to stop hurting children.
For a list of organisations offering help and advice, please visit our website. That's bbc.co.uk/action line. Or you can call the BBC Action Line for recorded information. The number is 08000 566 424. Lines are open 24 hours. Calls from most landlines are free, but some networks and mobile operators will charge.